We have all heard the news by now. The EU has issued a ban on travelers from the United States, Brazil, and Russia. But more than missing out on your summer gelato fix, what does this really mean? As of July 1st, European nations have opened their borders to residents of several countries deemed sufficiently under control. The US is not one of them. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Japan are some of the 15 countries allowed to enter. Now, this will be reviewed every 2 weeks, so the US could get added if the situation gets better. Also, countries can be taken off the list if their situation worsens. Now, there are exceptions for essential travelers, specifically healthcare workers, diplomats, transit passengers, students, and people traveling for imperative family reasons. Now, for those still jonesing to get to Europe this summer, Americans can still fly to Ireland and Britain. However, all visitors are required to undergo a mandatory 14-day quarantine on arrival or be subject to a hefty fine. So if you think that there's a workaround by completing the Britain or Ireland quarantine and then trying to travel onward to Europe from there, well, there isn't. So you'll just have to prove that you are a resident or have immediate family links in Europe. So quit while you're ahead. The great news is that Europeans will be able to move around and travel around freely within the EU, but the ramifications on the tourism industry will be huge as much of Europe relies on American tourism dollars. Think about this. More than a third of the annual spend happens during the peak summer travel season. Large American-based hotel chains like Hilton and Marriott will be hit hard, as they tend to have more luxury and upscale hotels in the market, whereas European-based companies like Accor have more mid-scale and budget properties within the EU, which will ultimately be in their favor. Now, a big question that I have been getting, if you have a flight to Europe, will you be able to get a refund? Well, you should be entitled to either a flight credit or a refund depending on when and the type of ticket that you've booked. So try to hold out for the airline to cancel your flight for the best chances on getting a refund. Well, I hope that explained the EU travel ban in more depth. Now, as Americans, let's go ahead and do our part and reduce our numbers. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.